In this video, I'll be giving a quick tutorial on the simple zero-based budget tracker. So this budget tracker has 15 tabs in total. The first one is the simple instruction tab, where all the instructions are written out if you prefer a written instruction format. This next tab is an example of what the spreadsheet looks like once it's set up and once it begins to be used, with the tracking log and the goals. And then the next one is an annual dashboard, which will pull in all of your data from the whole year, as well as an opportunity to write out some financial goals and an annual reflection on how the year went financially. And then the last 12 tabs are your monthly tabs, where you'll actually be doing the budgeting. So now let's quickly set up the January tab as an example together to see how it works. So in this spreadsheet, you will only be filling out the cells in white in these monthly tabs. So that means this source and budgeted here, the account and budgeted here, the item due and budgeted here, and so on. You can also fill out these monthly goals and put whatever financial goals you'd like here and check them off as they get completed. And then a monthly financial check-in or reflection as well, where you can provide answers to all of these questions and just go through your expenses and see how the month went as a whole. Moving on to the actual financial setup of it, this left to budget portion will automatically calculate your income and subtract all the other categories. And this is where the zero-based portion of the budget plays into. And this just ensures that any income you have will be allocated to any of these other categories. It just essentially keeps you in check. If it's in green and says zero, then you are good to go and you have successfully zero-based budgeted. Let's quickly set up an example together. So in this income, I will put paycheck number 1 and paycheck number 2. So both of my paychecks in this example will be budgeted at $1,300. So I'm expecting $2,600 to come in total this month. If you have any side hustles or any extra cash coming in, you can put it here. Even if you get an e-transfer from a friend or gifted money from somebody, you can put that here. So you can put e-transfer, you can put gift, you can put marketplace sale if you sold something on marketplace, and so on. These categories are completely customizable, so you can put whatever you like in them. Now let's move on to the saving and investing. Let's say that you are saving for retirement and we're saving $250 a month. Then we're also saving for a down payment, and that will be $100 a month. But given that this is a zero-based budget, if we have any extra money left over at the end, we can always allocate more to any category. Now, moving on to bills, let's do rent, electricity. We also have a Netflix account and a car insurance payment. Now, rent is due on January 31st. Electricity is due on January 15th. Netflix is also due on January 15th, and car insurance is due on the 31st as well. So rent is $1,200 every month. Electricity is around $20, but it could end up being more. Netflix is $7.95, and car insurance is $123. So you will see your total bills at the bottom here. And then as you can see here, you have $899 left to budget. So moving on to expenses, let's put groceries, gas, eating out, clothing, and other. So let's budget $350 a month for groceries, $50 for gas, $60 for eating out, $35 for clothing, and $50 for other. So it looks like we have $354 left. So let's do our debt payments before we forget. So the only debt payment we'll have is a car payment, which is due at the end of the month as well. And we can name it car payment. This payment is a minimum payment of $150 a month. And with that, we have around $200 left to budget. So let's say that we are saving for a vacation and we're slowly filling up that sinking fund for it. So we can put an extra $100 in there, and with this extra $104.05, we can decide to allocate it wherever we'd like. In this case, we're focusing on paying down our car, so we will add that amount here. I'll go up here and do 150 plus $104.05. And just like that, the left to budget has turned into a green cell and it says $0. So this means that every single dollar has been allocated. Now your budget is all set up. As you can see here, your chart has all of these pulled in, and the actual columns will update as we fill out the tracking log. So moving on to the tracking log, let's say we got paid on January 1st, right at the start of the year. In the subcategories, you can select income. This was paycheck number 1. It got paid into our checking account. This portion is optional. This is just for your own reference, and the description is optional as well. The amount was $1,300 as budgeted, and we can just write paycheck in here, or you can leave it blank. That's entirely up to you. So now you'll see that this actually pulled into this actual column here, and you can see that the paycheck number 2 is still empty until you log that as well in the tracking. So after that, we decided to go get some groceries. So this was on January 2nd. We decided to get some groceries. As you can see, all your subcategories populated here. We paid with our credit card, and it came out to $100. And we can say groceries from Walmart. Then on your way home from Walmart, you're driving past a clothing store and you found a really nice jacket that you love. So you ended up buying it for $85. We can say jacket. And then going up here, you realize that this is actually over the $35 that you budgeted. And if you ever go over your budget, like in this case, it will just be bolded and will have a negative, so you can actually see the difference very clearly to see that you are over budget in a category. So that is how you track everything. Make sure that everything that goes on in your bank account also goes on in the tracking log. So this is a perfect snapshot of what is going on and what you spent your money on, where you saved, which debt payments you made, and the income that came in. As you can see here, the actuals get pulled in now. So that is the gist of it for this budget spreadsheet. As you can see here, everything gets pulled into this graph as well for the actuals for a quick comparison. You can check off your bills, you can check off your debt payments, you can check off whatever monthly goals you made. Now, going into the annual summary, you'll see that since we started populating January, these are coming in and being pulled into the actual annual section. You can look at this at the end of the year to see how you did as a whole and to see if your budgeted and actuals came pretty close to each other, or where you overspent, or maybe if you made more income than you planned, and all that. So I hope you enjoy this tracker. If you have any questions at all, feel free to email moneywithsusanna@gmail.com. I'll also put it in the description, and I'll put the link to this tracker in the description as well. Happy budgeting!